Diving into the world of IEMs for the first time can be quite daunting, so I decided to make this video to just remove all the fluff. Keep it simple, forget about brand names and forget about different features and how they are marketed towards you. Let's just focus on the $20, $40 and $110 price ranges with some examples of how certain IEMs can compete in this sort of price range, featuring 3 different IEMs, one for each price, and one of those is probably the best sounding IEM I've ever heard for that particular category. At $20, you can't really expect that many extras to be included, but the SimGot EW100P has got the essentials nailed down. They are enjoyable just straight out of the box, they sound pretty decent, and for $20, that's just the ideal price range if you're just wondering whether or not an IEM is something you would enjoy using on a daily basis. They slightly have a bit too little bass for my taste, but nothing really problematic, and the high frequencies are a little bit too punchy maybe, or sibilant, but that's really hard to complain for the $20 price range. If gaming is your main concern, I've said this plenty of times, unless an IEM sounds trash or the mid-range is just completely collapsed and it sounds like all muffled and under the ocean, most IEMs are gonna be fine for gaming. You have one in each ear, you can get a decent amount of separation from that, and even at $20, these guys will be plenty if all you do is gaming. I mean, just look at Asu playing with Apple EarPods. Those are not great, but he still wrecks everyone. So if you think you're getting better because of IEMs, just get good and just play the game more. That's a better advice. If I was to find anything to complain at this $20 price range, I mean, the cable is not the best, is a bit stiff and doesn't look the best, and there aren't enough ear tips to find a proper fit for my ears. Maybe it will be a problem for yours, and finding a proper fit and comfort is by far the most important thing when it comes to IEM comfort and audio quality. Without a proper seal, they're not going to be comfortable and they're not going to sound great. And these ones are a bit iffy, but with proper ear tips, those are a solid recommendation for the $20 price range. At $40, you're playing with substantially more money, and you can definitely get something that will get you 85–90% of the way there when it comes to the entire feature set of an IEM. And the SimGot EW200 are probably my favorite IEM for the $40 price range, and this is an incredibly competitive price range. I featured plenty of other IEMs in the past in this sort of range, but these guys are often found for slightly more than $30, and for that amount of money, the build quality and the out-of-the-box sound are amongst the best when it comes to my personal preference, even though I always enjoy tweaking a little bit with some EQ. But if you care about none of that, you're just starting out, these will be great if you just want to plug them into your PS5 controller and enjoy some better sound than, stock PlayStation headsets that come with a console by a country mile. And if you just want something that's inexpensive, looks good, has a detachable cable, and just, doesn't break the bank, these are an absolute solid recommendation. And they're much better for music than the EW100Ps at $20, and they just are great for gaming, comfortable, lightweight, and the metal build, I think it's something that's not super common to be able to just do this sort of build at this sort of price and have the entire package look and feel so complete. So again, $40, really competitive, a lot of great options out there, but these guys are amongst the best in their category, but they are still not the ones that I said are the best value I've seen. That's reserved to the $100 category with the SimGot EM6L. Again, not super catchy name, but my God, was I surprised with them. These feature a different driver design than the other ones, which pretty much means they have 5 speakers in each IEM. One of those is just dedicated to the bass frequencies, and the other 4 are dedicated to their specific frequency ranges, resulting in a sound that isn't really too common for this amount of money, particularly how punchy the bass feels and how separated it feels thanks to having a dedicated driver for it is something that kind of caught me off guard. Out of the box, again, the tuning is extremely similar to the other two. They just sound more complete and they can represent the entire frequency range in a more appealing way. But again, for me, I still tuned them a little bit, slightly raising the mid frequencies and slightly increasing the bass to just overemphasize the power of that dynamic driver for the bass. And I was incredibly surprised for the amount of sound that you could get for just $110. For reference, my main IEMs, the 7Hz timeless AEs, are still my favorite, but they are more expensive than the EM6Ls, and I don't feel like they do anything particularly better than them. That is, if we forget a little bit about some of their weaknesses, because of course, nothing is quite perfect, and these kind of have a little bit of a problem that, for me, it's a complete deal breaker, and that's comfort. I mean, they are bigger than pretty much any other IEM that I've tried, not by a landslide, but definitely slightly bigger, but they are not the best shaped IEMs I've ever used. Like, they lack any sort of divot in the middle and the inside of the ear, making it so that if I'm gaming and talking on the microphone, my sort of ear movement just by talking will eventually just push them out of my ear canal. And I've tried dozens of ear tips and none of them made them stick inside my ear, and they hurt. They hurt a bit in my ear, which is definitely not something you want to deal with if you just plan on just using your IEMs daily for an extended period of time. Those two things, a little bit of a deal breaker for a lot of people. So my ears are small, so if you have maybe bigger ears, this will absolutely not be a problem. But in my ears, it's difficult to forget about that sound, but at the same time, comfort is king, and finding a better fit in your ear canal is essential for comfort and for sound quality in general. And these guys are not it for me, unfortunately, but for $110, they are an absolutely incredible deal. So whether you're on the market for $20, $40, or $200 worth of IEMs, I've made videos in the past that feature different brands at all these different price ranges, and it's great to be able to have a better experience with a lot of different products. It definitely makes my recommendations easier, but at the same time, just remember, gaming audio is not a thing, so don't feel like you need to get a proper gaming focused IEM. Those don't exist, and just focus on comfort, focus on just how they look and how they sound, and you'll be great for gaming, music, media, anything in between. And yeah, I'll catch you on in the next video. That will be just an incredible video that has been in the making for a while. But yeah, a huge thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and you stick around. And if you stick for an extra 20 seconds, a random cat will appear doing something crazy. Or something banal. I mean, he usually just lands in the background and just sleeps. Okay, see you very soon. Bye.